Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan Dobie, and today we're going to be looking at the Blazar or Blazar REMUS anamorphic lenses, the 45, 65, and the 100mm in PL mounts in amber flare. This isn't going to be a super scientific test. As a matter of fact, it's going to be the opposite of that. It's going to be a lazy chat of me just throwing some clips on the timeline and then just kind of going through them very casually. But let me just kind of spoil the video for you right now. I love these lenses, and don't let the price fool you. They are cheap, but they are really solid, both quality-wise and the picture that they produce. I really like these lenses. I bought these lenses myself, and I'm going to keep these. I usually flip gear all the time, not these. I'm gonna hold on to these for a while. Two things that you should know about these lenses that are not uncommon for anamorphics. The close focus is not great, and all the way open, they are soft. I recommend shooting these at 4. 4 is like the sweet spot. Again, this is gonna be a very chill video. I'm not gonna show you a highlight reel of the lenses and how good they are. I'm gonna show you some stinkers in here too, so bear with me. This might get boring, but it might get fun, and you might be interested in this. So with that being said, let's start with the 45. This is the 45 all the way open at f2, and I know I said that these lenses are soft all the way open, but the 45 is an exception, and at f2, you can totally get an in-focus image. However, when you go higher up in focal lengths, the 65 is kind of slightly soft all the way open, and the 100, I can just tell you right now, do not shoot all the way open with the 100. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Minimum focus might be an issue with the 45 if you are shooting, say, an instrument. If you're shooting a human face, I think you're going to be fine, unless you're doing a super close-up, but that is what diopters are for, and we will get to those a little later. I'm doing a little focus breathing test here, handheld, and I'm purposely not being stable with it. I'm kind of being loose with it. Image stabilization is turned off in this shot, along with focus breathing compensation. It is turned off, so I'm just kind of going for a raw look here, trying to find the imperfections in it. I'm not trying to make this look pretty, I'm just trying to give you guys a look at what it looks like. This is handheld. This is me just trying to get as smooth as possible and seeing if I can find any micro jitters or anything weird that's happening with the lens. These lenses have barrel distortion, and it's not that big of a deal. I'm just gonna rotate the camera a little bit here to make sure it doesn't really affect human faces, and it doesn't. I know that I've told you that shooting all the way open is a problem, and I mean, look, it's not really a problem per se, it's just a soft look. However, I'm going to be shooting wide open a lot during this video just to show you, because I know if I didn't do that, everyone would be telling me to just make a whole video with shooting all the way open. So this is at a 2 right now. Again, you're gonna see this probably happening a lot throughout this video. I'm at a 2.8 right now, and I'm just moving the camera a little bit more. You know, I'm just giving it some movement here to see what's gonna happen. I know that sometimes cameras with in-body stabilization with anamorphic lenses, they get a little funky, but I'm not really seeing any funk here. All right, I'm shooting this shot at a 4. Shooting Juno, the beautiful dog. I don't know if you were gonna shoot this all the way open, if you can get both her nose and her eyes in focus. I'm gonna do a little rack here. It's not the smoothest rack ever. I was positioned weirdly, and you can definitely see that there's some breathing going on. Doesn't bother me, it's fine. Same shot, however, I'm shooting all the way open, and as you can tell, you have to make a choice here. Do I want her eyes or her nose to be in focus? So that's why I feel like shooting at a 4 usually is the go-to. Oh, by the way, I'm shooting this on the Sony ZV-E1 with the Hollyland M1 monitor, and I'm doing that because I like to see the actual image, and to unsqueeze it, or to de-squeeze it, so you can do that in the monitor. So I love how these gears are pitched, and the throw is pretty short, meaning that if you want to rack, you're not twisting your arm like 5 times or cranking the barrel to just get a simple rack focus. So this is really awesome if you're a handheld shooter. This shot coming up, although it's not really anything special, is one of my favorites of the video, just because we have a really cool background element and you can see the bokeh and how it works, and you see a foreground element. This feels very anamorphic-y to me. Okay, so now I'm putting on a 2x diopter, and this is where things get pretty fun. You can get really close to your subject and get almost macro shots. As you can see here, I am like inches away from Hishem's face. Although this might be annoying for him, the shot looks pretty damn cool. Keep in mind though, there is a caveat to using diopters. You can get really close-up shots, however, the inverse is true, where you cannot get anything in focus after 4 feet, depending on the strength of diopter that you're using. I personally feel that either 1 or 2 strength is fine. 10x is way too close, and 4 is also way too close too. If you're shooting humans or anything like I'm shooting right here, 1 or 2 strength will do you just great. A lot of people will make the argument that they don't like using diopters, especially cheap diopters. At the end of the day, these are just bona fide magnifying glasses, and in my testing, it doesn't really hurt the image at all. I can't really recommend a brand, however, I know that there are options under $40 for a set of 4 on Amazon. So I would just recommend picking up a set of those. All right, let's put the 45 away for a little bit and pop on the 65. At first, I thought the 45 was gonna be my favorite lens. No. After working with the 65, I think that the 65 is the sweet spot. 45 for wider stuff and 65 for more like dialogue, get in someone's face. The close focusing appears to be actually better because it's more of a narrow focal length. So I don't know, this 65 I'm in love with. If you ask me to pick my favorite out of the bunch, it's gonna be this one. Like I said before, the 65 is slightly softer than the 45 all the way open, but that might be the look that you're going for. Can you get a good image all the way open? Yes, absolutely. But for me, shooting all the way open, regardless of anamorphic or not, isn't always the move. Sometimes I want to see the background in focus and give context to the scene and have the subject be sharp, but that's all personal preference. All right, so we're gonna close down a little bit, and this is at 2.4. And I like 2.4, especially here. You can see when Hishem turns his head, I'm able to quickly snap and get him into focus, and then I can re-rack to our gentleman in the back if we want to. So yeah, 2.4, it's still getting massive depth of field. All right, I'm gonna do some panning on this shot, going left to right, checking for barrel distortion, seeing if there's anything that gets weird or wonky, and sure enough, it doesn't. It looks really pleasing. I know I keep bringing up barrel distortion a lot, and I'm trying to have the talent on the right hug the right side of the frame, and just because I want to see something funky. But nothing to my eye is really standing out as something that's a problem. I really enjoy what I'm looking at here, actually. All right, so we got through the 65 pretty quickly. I mean, it's pretty similar to the 45, but now let's jump on the 100. This thing is kind of a different beast. It also doesn't stop down to 2. It stops down at 2.8. As cool as these shots are, I feel like it's not the best option for this room. If you're in like a small, compact, like studio or room like this, unless you're trying to get like extreme close-ups, I don't think that this is the best lens. Where this lens shines is just total compression, like blowing out the background. Do I not like this lens? No, I love this lens. It's just, you know, for the stuff I shoot, I probably would stick to the 65, like I said earlier. In this shot here, I'm just kind of moving around, I'm swaying, I'm kind of pulling focus as I go. Like I said before, the 100 is a little bit heavier, so it is like a hefty boy in your hand, but I kind of like the way this looks. If you're looking for like extreme close-up stuff and you don't want to throw in a diopter, maybe the 100 is the way to go. So I did a very similar shot to this earlier with the 65. As you can see with the 100, it's a lot more compressed and close up. This one is we are shooting at a 4. All right, we are now all the way open, 2.8. The 100, again, it's heavier. It stops down to a 2.8, and it is the softest all the way open out of the bunch. Even if you are the best focus puller in the world, I would stay away from shooting with this lens all the way open. All right, we are now back to an f4, which is the sweet spot of the lens. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, oh, f4, that's too slow. No, it's not. Look at this. I mean, by the way, we're in a studio which is the size of a bedroom, and this compression is pretty freaking insane at a 4. We're looking like this is a Star Trek movie, like we're in the freaking Starship Enterprise. Is that what it was called? I'm not sure. I'm more of a Star Wars guy myself. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but these are a 1.5 squeeze, which is, in my opinion, the sweet spot for anamorphics. I feel like 1.3 is a little, are we really even anamorphic at that point? And then 2 is like, crap, like this is just way too wide. I've probably said it 10 times in this video, but I am a big handheld guy, and I also like shooting zooms, so these lenses, as prime lenses, are a problem for me. They're a problem because I love them, and now I want to shoot everything going forward with them. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I feel like the video is getting really long. If you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you for watching. Again, I didn't really want to rush this test. I kind of wanted to just take some raw footage, drop it on the timeline, and just see what we got. I wanted to be transparent and honest with you guys and not show you all of like the most beautiful content that I shot. I wanted to show you guys the stuff that didn't look good as well, so you can make an educated decision if you wanted to get these lenses, whether you wanted to buy them or rent them. Me personally, at the price of under 3K for 3 amazing anamorphic lenses, this is definitely worth it. All right, well, that will do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any questions or comments, or you want to say something nice, please drop a comment below. I will answer them all, I promise. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.